She's involved with two of my favorite organizations, a co-founder of Code Pink. Code Pink, let's hear it for them. And a co-founder for a group that's almost always there, Veterans for Peace. Here it comes. Diane, you picked the best groups, man. That's really impressive. But she's not known as that. She's known as a shrimper. And she's really an unreasonable woman who demands justice, demands fairness, and is going to tell us all about the great work she's been doing for so many years. Diane Wilson coming up.
It's really good to be here, and especially on the day of my trial, and I'm not going to say anything else about that trial. I'll leave it to my lawyer somewhere.
I know you don't like to look down at us, but it'd be really great if you stood up a little higher so we can see you. And by the way, her trial starts tomorrow at DC Superior Court, so be there to support her.
Yes.
9:30.
8:30 vigil.
Okie dokie. First of all, like I said, I'm real glad to be in Washington, D.C., although I am always really glad to be in Washington, D.C. and get a little sanity. And believe it or not, go all the way back to the bad old state of Texas. But I am very glad to be here and among such good friends. I cannot tell you what it feels like to have the solidarity of you folks. Anyway, so I guess what I should say, there's a reason why I'm going to trial tomorrow, and I guess it should start with the Bush Library in Dallas, Texas. It was, I know it's a long story, I tend to go round and round, but it was the people's response to the Bush Library in Dallas that I was at a demonstration. I was with Code Pink activists, I was with Veterans for Peace, and we were across the street from, I believe it was 4 U.S. presidents, there might have been 5. Lost count with them all. They all look just alike. But anyway, it was during our session and during our demonstration. There, Medea, again a little bit of a troublemaker. Medea, she. I tell you what, me and Medea had this long thing about who ups one on the other one. She keeps upping me. Anyway, so, but she had been to London and she had been speaking with the activists over there on Guantanamo Bay about the British detainee who had been over there for many, many years, and they were starting a roller hunger strike. And Medea, we made a short little gathering, and they asked what we should do about it, and if anybody knows me at all they've got to ask me to do is, what do I think? And I say, do a hunger strike. And so, and besides, it fit right in because it was a rolling hunger strike. And I've been a shrimper my whole life. I've been on boats since I was 7 years old. So I've got a real gut instinct about stuff. I am not much of a thinker. I know my lawyer worried. I had a discussion with my lawyer earlier, and he was telling me I should not try to be a lawyer, and I'm like, I could have told him I will not be a lawyer. Trust me, I will not be a lawyer. But because I rule too much on gut instinct about things, and I knew this thing about Guantanamo and what the people in those jails must feel, because I've been in, I think I've been arrested. Should I be saying this? Many times? Okay, he's pointing his finger out. Okay, I've probably been arrested over 50 times. And my longest was in Texas. It was for 6 months, and it was for the very same thing I'm being charged with tomorrow. And if there is anything I know It is what it feels like to be in jail for a long period of time. And I was only in there for 6 months, and I was in Texas. And so I immediately had a very strong connection with people who had been detained for 12 years without trial, for many who had been cleared. I cannot even begin to tell you how I think they must have experienced the despair. I remember when I was in the county jail for 6 months, I remember the only thing that kept my sanity, and I do mean my sanity, is I had to do something with my head, because it will drive you nuts the way they treat you, the surroundings. We didn't see daylight. We weren't given books because they thought it would, we might harm someone with those books. We might hit them over the head with the books. And so it was, the only way I could keep my sanity was every day I would imagine as intensely as I could what it was like. To be told. So, I cannot imagine what those men for 12 years and not go home, what they must feel. And so, being the gut instinct person I am, I started this hunger strike, and I have and I was on it for up to 57 days, and I knew that 57 days on a water-only hunger strike, your options start running out, and I wanted to do something that as George Bush said, shocks and awe. I wanted to break a wall. I wanted to break a boundary, because sometimes we are so jaded. We are just so jaded. Can I say it anymore? We're so jaded. We have lost hope. We do not believe we will win. We have, in the atrocities we see, we brush off. Otherwise, how can one time will be if we don't? So I thought of the most outrageous thing I could do, and it's like one of my actions when I was a shrimper on the Gulf Coast. I was fighting a chemical company. If you know, in Texas, they have corporations down there, and you can do about anything you're big enough to do. And I knew there at one time there was the only way to get their attention was to do the most outrageous thing I could do. And so at that time, I took my shrimp boat out and proceeded to sink it on top of their discharge pipe. Wow. So I do. So I believe. And so if there is a prosecution out there anywhere, so if they want to know if I tend to be as bold as I possibly can, yes, I do believe in it. As Che Guevara said, boldness has magic. And I sincerely believe in that. And so, needless to say, I had an incident with the White House fence. And anyway, so I am unrepentant. I know that's always a bad sign. I am unrepentant, and want to say I'm a bad role model, but I encourage you each to be as bold and as unreasonable as you can be, and you will change nothing but the world. Thank you very much.
Is it true they call you the Orange Rose of Texas?
No, but I like that quote. I'll steal it. Yes. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Diane. Dr. Flowers, what they call adolescent? Diane, we love your adolescent idealism. You know, you know what that is? That's the idea that they can actually change the world. When Bradley Manning was being analyzed on the stand during his sentencing process, a psychiatrist, yeah, the kangaroo court there, the adolescent, what is it? Chelsea, I'm sorry.
That's what she's being called.
What's the adolescent idealism? They said Chelsea had suffered from adolescent idealism, and she thought she could change the world. Wow. Well, you have it too, Diane, so congratulations. We're going to switch to Pelican Bay, which is really not that different from Guantanamo. The same system is holding the people at Pelican Bay. And that strike that started on July 8th, that hunger strike, really captured all of our attention and has impacted all of us in so many ways. And we are in solidarity with the hunger strikers that remain, continue to refuse to eat, and those that are being mistreated there. It's the same thing. We're going to get to hear now from someone who spent some time there, Murphy Bay Jr. Why don't I go to but before you come up, I want Andres, you want to say something to introduce him?
Thank you, Kevin. Just want to say a word about the incredible honor that we have to have Murphy Bay Jr. with us this evening. Murphy and I go back a long, long time. We met yesterday. And as a matter of fact, some of you knew me with a little more hair. Well, I have a lot less of hair because of Murphy Bay. Murphy is a barber now, okay? And if anybody needs a haircut, I highly recommend it. But Murphy Bay is here, and he's going to really share with us and bring the spirit of those who are in Pelican Bay. But we need to say it's more than Pelican Bay. There are 33 prisons in California, and on July 8th, 30,000 prisoners went on hunger strike. And that is just an amazing historic witness. And to this date, more than 70 are still on hunger strike, and that means for 59 days they have not eaten at all. And so Murphy Bay is here, and he's going to tell us what it's been like to live in this place they call where the worst of the worst are imprisoned. But really what we know is that those who are imprisoning them fit that category a lot more. So Murphy, we're so happy that you're here. We're honored. Thank you for being here.